Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. We begin in northeast Nebraska, where slick conditions being blamed for a near head-on crash. It happened Monday afternoon on U.S. Highway 275, a couple of miles east of Norfolk. Officials with the Stanton County Sheriff's Office tell us an eastbound pickup lost control on the icy highway, crossed the median, and struck the rear tank of a westbound semi. Witnesses at the scene told law enforcement the driver of the semi took extreme measures to avoid a head-on crash. Both occupants of the truck were hospitalized in Norfolk with what authorities called serious injuries, while the driver of the semi wasn't hurt. The crash, one of two that happened near Norfolk in Stanton County during heavy snow on Monday. As early as Tuesday, President Donald Trump says he could announce sweeping reciprocal tariffs. The idea, the U.S. matches tariffs a given country has on specific American goods, an eye for an eye concept, but it gets trickier when the U.S. doesn't export something that it imports. Experts say reciprocal tariffs could be broad enough to have a major impact on the U.S. and global economies. Amy Kiley has more on what this could mean for American consumers.
It's time to be reciprocal.
President Donald Trump says he plans to formally announce reciprocal tariffs soon.
If they charge us, we charge them. If they're at 25, we're at 25.
Trump argues tariffs raise revenue, balance trade, and serve as leverage, although his opponents question some of that logic. Economists say the usual reason to impose tariffs is to help domestic producers. For instance, a business might pay 10% extra for American products to avoid paying 25% more on imports. Either way, the cost is higher, and many in corporate America oppose Trump's tariffs.
Business people are going to be cautious, and clearly that has broader implications for the economy.
Experts say companies are likely to pass on some of that added cost to consumers. Most mainstream economists say tariffs cause inflation. Some worry broad reciprocal ones could be a significant blow to the U.S. economy.
These reciprocal tariffs likely would mean higher prices for Americans because most of our trading partners have higher tariffs on our goods than we have on theirs.
Another concern is the potential for trade wars. Many experts say rising tariffs could harm the global economy.
You have a sweater and you snag it on a nail or a piece of wood and it starts to unravel. That's what's going to happen with world trade.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Staying with the economy, have you tried to buy eggs recently? Pretty rough, right? In the last year, the cost of eggs has jumped nearly 37%, according to the Consumer Price Index. Jen Sullivan has more on what's causing the spike in costs.
Egg prices have hit a record high, and consumers are noticeably frustrated.
I'm in Walmart right now. Check this out. This is 12 eggs, cage-free large white, great value. This is the cheapest brand.
So what's causing this? Between November and December, prices jumped 14% due to a shortage of eggs. At the end of last year, the average cost of a dozen eggs was $4.15, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. As of February 7th, those costs have nearly doubled, jumping to $7.34, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. But some shoppers are seeing prices much higher than that average.
How did it jump from $5 to $18, almost $20? This gotta stop.
The highly contagious avian flu is fueling the nationwide shortage of eggs, causing the deaths of 130 million birds since 2022.
You can have two.
Frank Hilliker, the owner of Hilliker Ranch in Lakeside, California, is limiting how many eggs customers can buy.
If you have a healthy produce and the same amount of eggs you've always produced, it's just those eggs have gotten a lot more valuable.
Big box retailers like Trader Joe's and Costco are also limiting their sales of eggs. The shortage has even led to egg thefts. In Pennsylvania, thieves stole about 100,000 eggs from a distribution trailer. And recently, outside of Seattle, thieves caught on camera stealing hundreds of eggs from Luna Park Cafe.
We couldn't order any eggs, so we had to drive around all the markets to get the egg.
Unfortunately, these high costs aren't expected to come down anytime soon. The USDA says prices are expected to rise another 20% this year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
A long-awaited multi-million-dollar project in central Nebraska just months away from breaking ground. First discussion started 9 years ago. Need to clear just one final hurdle. It's on the southeast side of Hastings. This intersection, South Elm Avenue and J Street, set to be transformed into a 3-lane roundabout. Officials say the main goal of the project, eliminate 2 awkward intersections at those streets that connect with Highway 6. They don't face square with the highway. The total cost of the project, some $12.1 million, 80% of which is being covered by the state of Nebraska. Hastings city officials say work on the ground could begin as soon as next month.
So it probably looks like nothing's going on. The state's working a lot in the background on right-of-way, finishing up design. From a city staff side, we've been working very hard on utility design and getting all those plans and estimates to the state so we can get an agreement hopefully in the next month to bring to council on.
Once city officials in the state reach that utility agreement, construction gets underway. The project itself expected to be done by the end of 2027. The state says they're still working on acquiring some buildings from property owners to demolish them and make way for construction. The decision to install a geothermal heating and cooling system for the new Beatrice Elementary School is paying off in the form of a big refund. Superintendent Jason Alexander told school board members this week the system's not only resulting in energy savings, but a big rebate check to the district through a federal grant.
We are anticipating any time in the near future to receive $1.2 million of rebate on our geothermal system. I can also tell you in the amount of time of the small time comparison that we've had between in the cool winter months, comparing our old utility bills to our new utility bills with the geothermal system, our utility usage and expenses are down by about $7,000 to $10,000 a month. And it'll be interesting to see as we go in the next few weeks here, as we have some more cold weather, how that shapes up. But we're tracking it all, so and that appears to be good news. So hopefully we see that soon.
The new elementary school opened this past fall, replacing 4 1950s era buildings that used much less efficient heating and cooling systems. A museum in Kearney reopening this May after being closed for over 4 years because of construction. The Museum of Nebraska Art announcing Monday it's hosting a reopening celebration May 3rd for the public to see the new renovations. Mona says the 23,000 square foot expansion includes new exhibition spaces, enhanced amenities, and a retail shop. The project supported by a $36.5 million capital campaign and didn't hurt that back in 2021, then Governor Pete Ricketts approved $7.5 million in state funds for the renovation. The last time the building had gone through renovations was 1993. Well, a highway mishap could have meant losing decades of memories for one woman in Colorado, but an unexpected kindness from a stranger from the Nebraska Panhandle and a little internet sleuthing reunited her with a trove of photos. Amanda Gilbert has the story.
This is a high school dance in 1999.
Sometimes it's good to look back at the past.
Pictures with my family.
For Erica Bloom, it's a joy to relive moments.
Tailgating at an Iowa game. The Iowa Hawkeyes are huge.
And it's important to remember her people.
This is a picture of my friend that passed away, so having these are priceless.
Erica thought these priceless photos were safe.
They mean so much to me.
This month, her family's been slowly packing to move from Fort Collins to Iowa.
By the way, each of those totes are 49.5 pounds. Like pictures.
Erica's husband had a trailer's worth of totes and more on the way to their new home when she got a call.
We didn't get a call until, 1 o'clock or so from New Raymer about the pictures that he found on the side of the road, along with a lot of other sentimental items of mine.
Somehow, the back of the trailer opened without her husband's knowledge.
Yeah, so I think that's from the road.
While this was sprawled across Highway 14 near New Raymer.
I don't know if it was hit by a semi.
Mike Swan had just left his job at Wicked Welds in Fort Collins.
I specialize in wiring and plumbing on classic cars.
He was headed to Nebraska.
I saw this tote right in the middle of the highway, and I'm thinking, my God, if I were to hit that, it'd absolutely destroy my car, so I couldn't just leave it there.
Then Mike noticed all the photos.
On one of the envelopes, it had this gal's name. So I started digging some more, and I went over her profile page, and I actually found one of her posts from like 2 years ago that said, if you'd like to make reservations, please call Erica at this number.
They could be floating in the wind. Like, nobody had to take the initiative.
While Mike saved Erica's husband from a scolding.
Yes, I think he would have been in the eternal doghouse.
This small act of kindness created another memory for Erica.
My rugby friends and I.
One she's happy to look back at.
That might be my final memory of Colorado, and what a way to go, right?
And finally, in sports, coach news conferences happen every day. And if I'm being honest, they can be kind of boring. It's a lot of reporters asking questions that begin with talk about and asking how it feels to win and lose games. But the Creighton men's basketball news conference on Monday actually got interesting, thanks to it being crashed by comedian Frank Caliendo, who provided the gaggle assembled his impression of head coach Greg McDermott. Check it out.
It's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in there. Yeah, blue, get that for me. Listen, got to block out. Everybody's got to block out. Not blocking out enough. And then this. There's a lot of this. And that move right there. That's enough for you. Thank you.
Creighton back in action on Tuesday at home against UConn with their real head coach on the sidelines, by the way. You can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the news tab there. You can also follow us on X. Like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.